I have sounds, at least, in this instrument. There's a couple of really important things that we should always do in our sessions. First, let me just introduce the mix window. And the mix window, so remember that we're doing all this work here in the edit window, where we're looking at at least the clips and whatnot. If we go up to window and mix, and the quick key again is the command and the equal sign, you'll see that we have these faders. All right, and probably the most important thing about the faders, they represent volume. So we can click and lower the volume or raise the volume of every different track. And my initial thing was that this lead was super loud. So I want to balance that. But even more important than starting to balance the volumes is that we have to make what's called a master fader track. And I'm going to click on track and new, and I'm going to change mono to stereo because our output ultimately of this project will be stereo. I'm going to click audio and choose master fader. All right, so we have one new stereo master fader. Calling it master is fine, and I'm going to hit create. Now, big issue right away here is that we're seeing that our master fader levels were in the red or over 0. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's kind of a no-no. So we want to stay out of the red. And the way that we do that is really by lowering all of our volumes, and then kind of balancing them musically so that they hit maybe around -4. And I tend to start with drums. That's still rather loud for me. Okay, and this is peaking. So, all right, and here you see this sign here, which means the sum, right? It's the summing bus. So the master fader represents the volume, the sum of all the volumes of the various tracks that are going into it. So in this video, the idea or the point was to introduce the master fader, the summing bus, and to use volume to do two things: to balance the music kind of artistically and aesthetically, and also to watch the overall levels as you're adding sounds together into the master fader.